Hello everyone and welcome to a new reading. Today we are going to do an individual reading for Haechan. In this video we are going to focus on his current energy, his career, his love life, and any healing messages that come through. And I also wanted to point out that we have unicorns with us. So hopefully they bring a little bit of magic into this reading. I just got them recently and I was like, they light up, but then you can't really. They kind of look like unicorns with a light bulb on their heads or something, so it doesn't look that pretty. So I decided to just keep the light off, and you guys can admire the little unicorns. But anyway, let's figure out how Haechan is currently doing. We have the Five of Wands, Temperance, and we have the Star reverse. The first thing that I thought of when I saw this card was that his patience is being tested. Now, I actually do not know how patient Haechan is, but it seems like he is being very patient about his dreams. Because we have Temperance in the middle, and usually Temperance talks about someone that's pretty balanced, someone that is being very patient, someone that is going about their life in a very calm, optimistic way. However, I saw the Star reversed and I was like, oh, his dreams are not coming true, or he feels like that's not happening, or there's some delay or stagnation in whatever it is that he's dreaming of, or whatever his goals are, or whatever he's trying to manifest. Something is slowing down and he's not happy about it. But let's actually talk about the first card that came up. With the Five of Wands, it feels like he's fighting for something. It feels like he could potentially be in a lot of arguments, or there's probably a lot of tension in his environment, so he's ready to snap, he's ready to attack if necessary. Now, I don't necessarily mean that he's punching people left and right, nor do I mean that he is actually fist fighting everyone in the group or whatever. I just mean that he seems to be in the defensive somehow. He seems like he's easily triggered right now. Seems like he is in a state where he's a little bit out of balance, and his temperament is a little bit chaotic right now, so that's why it may feel like he's ready to fight. I do feel there's a lot of fire here, so I do feel that his words could be very hurtful and painful right now, so he will be better if he tries to calm down a little bit or think things through before he speaks. Here we have Sagittarius and Aquarius energy with Temperance and the Star. So I do feel that there's probably a lot of shift in beliefs for him. I'm saying that because my 9th house is in Sagittarius, so I can't help but see Sagittarius as a way of reinventing or expanding on your beliefs. I also say that because my Pluto's in the 9th house, so I see that as constantly changing beliefs and constantly trying to reevaluate and understanding what is important and what is valuable and what those beliefs are. So in this case, I think he could be going through a similar transformation. Based on his age, there's a high chance that he probably is a Pluto in Sagittarius. I just don't really know what house it will be for him, so I don't know where that energy will manifest. But I do feel that he's need to expand and grow, or something is being stagnant or is being held back somehow. So I do feel like currently he's in an energy where he feels like he has to fight for his dreams, or he feels like he has to put a lot more effort than other people to make his dreams come true. Because with the Star reverse, it definitely feels like he is currently not seeing how his manifestations are coming into fruition. There could be a lot of energy behind the scenes where everything's shifting and everything's happening, but since he can't see it, he could be a little bit discouraged at the moment. However, we have Temperance in the middle, which kind of shows that he is divinely protected and taken care of, so his dreams are going to become true. They're going to happen, even if at the moment it may not seem like it, or he may not be able to see how he can get from point A to point B. I do feel that he may be so discouraged right now that's why he may be like ready to fight anyone and everyone, and he could be easily triggered because there's an insecurity of his, which in this case it will be that his dream is not coming true. Now, I don't necessarily know what the dream could be. but whatever it is something that's completely out of his hands, because we do have two major arcana cards, so that kind of shows that it is quite a big deal for him. It is quite important for his path and his journey in this lifetime. So that could also explain why his manifestation is taking a while to actually come into fruition or become physically or tangible within his life. It could be something that is slowly building up to that point, and it not necessarily something that can be done very quickly, like, oh, I want to buy this, boom, he just gets it. No, I think it's something that it could be an idea, a thought, or a lifestyle that is going to naturally take a lot of time to slowly settle down into a new energy of sorts. So let's jump into his career. So what's going on with Haechan's career? We have ideation and cleanse. So those two cards right away kind of tell me that he is in an energy where he's trying to re-establish or reconnect somehow with his career. Like, he is reevaluating and rethinking all of those make me think of someone that is, with Mercury retrograde right now. It definitely feels like he's in the energy where he's looking back a lot, because naturally we're all in that energy right now at the moment that I'm recording this, and by the time this video goes up, we will still be in that moment. Hold up. There you go. I had to concentrate on my question, that's why I didn't say nothing for a while. So I do feel that he is just thinking back a lot into his career to try to get a better idea of what he wants, what he values, and what matters to him in his career. He's trying to make sure that he takes off the blindfold of sorts with the ideation card. It definitely feels like there's something that he's trying to see the truth behind, and he's trying not to blind himself with the shiny, luxurious things that are put in front of him, or like the first opportunities that are put in front of him. He doesn't want to be influenced by them. He wants to see all his options. He wants to see how they all fit in his life and stuff like that. I also feel that with the cleanse card, he is just doing a very good job right now in his career to try to not take things personally, and also to try to see things for what they truly are. So in other words, the truth, right, as I mentioned earlier. But also with that cleansing, it feels like he's trying to get rid of past baggage, resentment, and anything that didn't work out before. He wants to just get rid of that and try to have a new outlook into his career. Underneath here we have the Scorpio card, so that kind of shows that he is going through a transformation in his career, and it's quite a big deal because the Scorpio energy usually does a transformation from very deep within, and it kind of blossoms out. So in this case, it can show it can be quite an intense change. I do feel that it's also a very big deal for Haechan because he is changing his way of viewing his career, but also the ideas that he has of his career. He seems to want to actually get to the bottom of things and reach the truth behind how he feels about the situation he's in, to see the environment that he's truly in, and how it all works out, in how beneficial that could be for him, or how hurtful it could be for him as well. So it definitely feels like he's in an energy right now where he's trying to transform his thinking and also transform himself based on the new beliefs that he is creating for himself. So he is doing some sort of healing, but this healing is coming from his perspective. Like, he's trying to clean his perspective and trying to see things differently, and in its change that will definitely heal his heart. I do feel that these two circles show that he's, again, very divinely protected, because when I see a circle, I usually think of like a bubble or something that helps protect you from the outside environment of sorts. So I do feel that right now he is in a place where he is definitely taking care of himself. His walls are up with the Scorpio energy. His walls are definitely up. So in his career, he is trying to see things differently, and during that transformation he's definitely taking very good care of himself to try to not be influenced by other people, and also to not get hurt by other people while he's in this vulnerable state of transformation. So on the outside, his walls are up and running, and that kind of in its change that will make it seem like he's not going through anything, but inside he's going through a very big transformation. So what's going on with Haechan's career? We have the Wheel, And the card that actually came up is the Eight of Swords. So yeah, the Eight of Swords kind of shows, kind of reconfirms. It kind of confirms the whole idea of Haechan working on his mentality, because the Eight of Swords usually, first of all, is swords energy, so it's talking about our thoughts, our intellect, our speech, our communication skills. And with the Eight of Swords, we are focusing more on the energy of someone that it feels a bit stagnant, feels trapped or imprisoned within their own thoughts. But in reality, if they were able to take the blindfold off, they will be able to see that it's all within their heads. All of that stagnant energy and all of those, I cannot do this cannot happen, this is wrong, this is right. All of those things that are keeping an individual within a box and limiting them from moving forward and doing other things, is all within their head. It's an illusion. It cannot be seen. It's something that is not tangible. It's just based on fears. It's based on not having enough information about a situation. So I do feel that in this case, especially with the imagery of this specific Eight of Swords, it kind of shows that he does feel stagnant. He feels that there's a lot of things outside of his power and outside of his reach right now. Like maybe there's not enough opportunities for him to do something that will change his point of view or change his place in the industry, stuff along those lines. Like especially with the Wheel of Fortune right next to it, there is a sense where he understands that there's a lot of things outside of his power, that he has to surrender control and allow the universe to just do its own thing and slowly trickle in the opportunities necessary for him, or trickle in the enough time for him to heal as well. But also the other side of the Wheel of Fortune is that there's a lot of good things coming his way. There's a lot of fortune, there's a lot of financial abundance, or just abundance in general. There is a sense of things will eventually turn in his favor, but at the moment he understands that it's not within his power to do something. But that still doesn't take away from the fact that he's angry that things are not kind of moving along, especially because he can't see how those changes are going about. Since we had Aquarius and Sagittarius both here, it kind of seems like maybe he wants to travel, or maybe he wants to rebel against something. And when I mean rebel, I don't mean that he wants to take over SM or something. What I mean is that he wants to finally do something outside of the normal, maybe get out of his routine, or maybe he just wants to do something that he has never allowed himself to do before because he felt like it was not right, or he felt it was not in his schedule, or other people always told him that he shouldn't do this or shouldn't do that. So he kind of wants to break free from something. And I do feel that this star reverse could mean that he doesn't really know how to go about that, or he doesn't really know what he I think he knows what he wants. I think he just hasn't manifested enough for him to see that it's actually happening. He just feels that he's kind of stuck. But yeah, with the Wheel, it feels like there's a lot of good things coming for him, but a lot of it is outside of his control. Like he's very lucky. I mean, the Wheel is Jupiter energy, so he's very lucky in the sense that he will be filled with a lot of gifts from the universe. It's just that a lot of it is outside of his control, so he just kind of has to wait for things to come his way. So now let's go on to the next section of his reading. So let's see what's going on with Haechan's love life. A lot of things. So the first card that came out was Death, Caution, and Surrender. That was actually a lot clearer than I thought it would be. What's going on with Haechan's love life? And we have Capricorn. So with the first cards that came out for him, the Death and the Caution card, again, Death kind of talks about him going through a transformation. So his change of ideas and views about life seem to be a lot more general than just his career. Because the Death card usually talks about a death and rebirth type of thing, right? It talks about the end of something and then the beginning of something else. It talks about the Phoenix moment, right? So it could be a cycle of sorts, or breaking free from a cycle, like finally putting a little bow on a past idea, or maybe relationships or emotions that may have been holding him back in his love life, and he's slowly trying to change into this new person. Because the card right next to the Death one is Caution, so that tells me that right now he may have had a very tough relationship, or he is having a very rough time with the idea of love. And because of that, he's very cautious right now. He has his walls up very, very high. He's trying to protect his heart a lot. And with that Capricorn energy, I do feel like he's just focusing more on his career. Now, I do have to mention that I'm feeling like a pain on the back of my head. So, I don't know. Maybe he got hit on the back of his head. Or maybe he fell and hit his head. Or maybe he will get a bunch of boinks on the head when he was dating. I do not know. But whatever it is, this could also be a sort of metaphor, right? Like maybe things never really worked out in his love life, and there could have been a bunch of red flags or a bunch of things like maybe he just clashed a lot with his partners, and because of that, the caution card could be this sense of like, maybe he just has to be more careful with the people that he picks, or be more careful with his approach on life, or be a lot more careful with the way that he treats other people. So like that he doesn't get like boinks on the head. And by that I mean like he doesn't get like hit or something. I do not I don't mean this literally. I mean this more in the sense of like, when someone does something wrong in life and the universe kind of brings in a lesson for them to learn and see that an individual did wrong, so that they can learn from that experience and not go through that cycle again that could be painful or cause pain to other people. That's what I mean by metaphorical boinks, if that makes sense. And also with the surrender card, I do feel that there's this sense of slowly growing and growing and growing, and having this circle getting smaller and smaller as you go up. It kind of makes me think that Haechan had an idea of love that he's slowly narrowing down to something that is more personal to him. So what I mean by that is, as life is going on and as he is experiencing these cycles and slowly being more cautious about his way of doing things, he's finally in a way putting his own flavor as to what love is and what it looks like. And he's slowly surrendering to the idea of what's in his control and what's not in his control, as well as surrendering to being himself a bit more. So instead of doing what other people tell him to do, or instead of being influenced by what other people say love should look like and what it is and what it means, he's slowly narrowing it down to what he believes in. And he's slowly just becoming his own person, let's just put it that way. And because of that, he's able to make his own opinions of what love is and what it looks like. Now with the Capricorn card right here, I do feel that he wants to be someone reliable, someone stable, someone grounded, like a rock. He wants to be of very good support to his partner. He wants to be like this Capricorn energy, right? Very hardworking, very respectable, someone that is successful in their career, that is successful in the industry, someone that even has a legacy that people look up to and respect. So he wants to be seen like the top dog of sorts where he's at, right? He wants to be seen with respect and care, and in a way he wants to have something that he can like show off to be worthy of in a partnership, right? He wants to be able to show his partner, look, all the things that I have. And I don't know why I was gonna say what a snack I am, but okay, Haechan, calm down. I feel, what else, he wants to feel like he's worth being shown off by his partner, if that makes sense. But yeah, he wants to be of status of sorts, or he wants to have a good reputation that will make his partner proud as well. And I think he will also want someone that will make him look good as well, especially within his career or just his image in general. So he wants the general public to see him with respect and see him like, oh, of course he will have this type of partner because he's up there as well. So let's just get some details about Haechan's love life. So we have the 9 of Pentacles reversed. Oh, a couple more cards came up. We have the Prince of Cups. We also have the 9 of Wands reversed and the Ace of Pentacles. So in this case, Haechan doesn't. So when we have the Prince of Cups reversed, we're talking about someone that doesn't really even know how they feel about love. I I how should I put it? It feels like he has like reset somehow in his love life, because in this case the Prince of Cups is the equivalent of the Page of Cups in tarot. So this tells me that he is not really curious about the idea of love, or he's not too enthusiastic about it. He hasn't really begun his journey of emotionally maturing in love. I do feel that he doesn't want to delve too much into his love life right now, because he's slowly trying to put his walls down. He's slowly trying to put his defenses down, and maybe there's still some healing that he has to do because of past mistakes or past battles or past wars of sorts, right? So I do feel like he hasn't had very much luck in his love life. Maybe he was rejected a lot, or maybe he always encountered the wrong people, or maybe his relationships didn't last too long, or there's something here that has hurt him a lot, and because of that he doesn't feel too enthusiastic about opening his heart again to somebody else, or exploring his heart in the sense of love. He doesn't feel too enthusiastic about it. I do feel that's why this Page of Cups is reversed. Like, he's not even ready to begin something like that, at least from the emotional aspect. However, from the material career aspect of his love life, he wants to, with the Ace of Pentacles, especially when we're talking about love, it kind of shows that he wants a very stable relationship. He wants to finally start looking for a long-lasting person, like not someone to just feel to just have like a puppy love or whatever. He wants someone that is going to be real with, someone that he can actually see a future with as well. So with this Ace of Pentacles, he really wants to start a beginning that is very promising with someone. However, with this Nine of Pentacles reversed, it kind of tells me that right now he feels like he's not mature. He feels like he doesn't have the material wealth he wish he had. So the Capricorn energy that I talked about earlier, this Nine of Pentacles kind of talks about that. Like, he feels like he hasn't reached his potential, or he hasn't reached the goals that he wants in his life. He just hasn't reached the point in his career, in his life, his material wealth and all of that he will feel comfortable with before dating. He wants to be financially stable. He wants to be in a career where he feels proud of, and he feels that is a stable income or has something respectable for him before he starts. He wants to build his own physical paradise before he can actually start relationships. So I do feel that emotionally he's still working towards creating a strong, stable foundation for himself before he can open up his heart for somebody in his love life. However, with this Ace of Pentacles, he's at least already thinking of trying to find the one, or find a very serious relationship, and that could be the reason as to why he is trying to open up in an emotional sense, open up his heart, and also trying to put his walls down, and also trying to create a very stable career financial foundation, because he wants to give everything to his partner. So he wants to make sure that he has everything he could potentially provide. So now let's go on to the last section of his reading, which is his healing messages. So healing messages for Haechan. We have the Rabbit Spirit reverse with now is a lucky time. So with this card being here, especially reverse, it kind of shows that he finds it very difficult to believe that there's good out there for him, or he finds it very hard to believe that his dreams are coming true, as we saw with the Star reverse. Like, he's finding it very, very difficult to actually see his manifestations coming into fruition. I think things could be going a little bit too slow for him. So even though he feels like he has a lot of patience, his patience is still being tested by the universe. I'm not saying that the universe is like, okay, no, you have to wait for this to happen, in a way of like playing with him or testing him or something along those lines. I don't think it's that way. I think it's more along the lines of what he's asking for is something that naturally just takes a lot of time, because there's still a lot of knowledge that he has to gather. There's still a lot of experiences that he has to go through in order to fully understand what it is that, one, that he wants, and two, that just understand how things work in a way. So I think he's just slowly transforming into the person that he wants to be, and that will just take time anyway. But with the now is a lucky time is like there's still a lot of abundance for him, and there's still a lot of rewards and good things for him out there. It's just that it might take longer than he wishes it would. Any more healing messages for Haechan? We have the Bee Spirit reversed with sweet results await. So again, this card is reversed because he doesn't believe his dreams are going to come true. So he's very discouraged about things. But like with honey, there is this sense, I don't know why I said honey when I'm talking about bees. Well, I guess it makes sense, right? So with sweet results, I thought of honey and how honey is something that moves very slowly, but it's very rich in flavor. I'm about to mention again that I don't like honey. But it's very sweet and soothing and healing. So I do feel that in this case, the dreams that he has in mind and the manifestations that he wants to bring into fruition in his life are things that just naturally take a lot of time. It will bring him a lot of happiness, and it will require also a lot of work for it to happen. So this card reverse is kind of saying that it will be worth the wait for his dreams to come true, and it will also be worth the effort he put into making those dreams come true. It's just that he has to enjoy the journey a little bit more than being so fixated on the results, because it will just naturally take some time to get there. So he might as well just enjoy the path and the present that he's in, because it will require a lot of work, and a lot of people will be involved in making his dream come true. So one of them will be his partner, right? If he wants a partner and he wants a stable life with them, then he will just have to, that's one person that is outside of his control that will just kind of come in and make his life better. But then in his career, there's a lot of other people involved with making it successful. So I do feel that there's this thing of like whatever dreams he has in mind is going to take time, because there's a lot of pieces moving around. So yeah. And the last healing card that we have is a Dolphin Spirit with this and that are true. So this card always makes me feel that it is leaning more towards intuition. So whatever he believes that is true, he should definitely trust his intuition a lot, because it's giving him a lot of messages, and it's like his inner compass right now that is leading him and guiding him towards the right path for him. Not necessarily the right path in general, but the right path for him. So whatever actually makes him happy, whatever he's actually looking forward to, and also leading him down the paths that are going to teach him the lessons that he has to learn. So in this case, if he makes quote unquote takes the wrong turn or goes down the wrong path, it's still important for him, and it's still something that he will learn from, and it's an experience that he has to have, because that's part of the cycle that he's going through. When he's making quote unquote a mistake, the fact that he acknowledges and notices it's a mistake is actually helping him grow as a person, because now he knows that that's not what he wants in his life, and also that's not how he wants to go about it, and something that he doesn't want to experience. And he can use that as a way to be able to notice red flags if this situation ever happens again, or able to catch himself in the moment and be like, okay, I'm not going to allow this to happen to me again, or to be able to see like, okay, yeah, this thing is happening, I have gone through this before, I know I have the strength, the knowledge, and the power to overcome this obstacle. So I do feel that this and that are true are just kind of emphasizing that he should follow his intuition, follow his heart, and even if he feels like he's taking the wrong path, it's still a learning experience that will add into his life in general and will help him through the future, because now he's gaining more tools and more knowledge that will be life-changing if it ever happens again. So I think that's all of the messages for Haechan. I hope you guys liked this reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learn from it, or at least find it entertaining. I find it very interesting how calm his energy was. Like, I was able to just read it and I didn't feel too crazy reading for him. I didn't necessarily get too excited or go like, sometimes when I read for people, my energy shifts a lot depending on who the person is. And in this one, I was actually I guess he was taking it very seriously, or maybe he's in a very introspective and pensive state of mind. Like he's really, really thinking and going really deep within himself. I mean, he does have Scorpio and Capricorn energy right here, so I do feel that he's trying to find the true meaning of life. And by that, I don't mean in general what it means to be alive and stuff like that. No, I do lean more towards the what makes life valuable and worth it for him. Like he's defining life for himself and what a happy life looks like, what a successful life looks like for him. So that could explain maybe potentially why his reading felt very serious and very centered or focused, I guess I could say. I didn't feel too distracted, even though I did feel a little bit of pain in the back of my head. So maybe his crown chakra is something he should work on, which will allow him to open up to spirit, but also it will allow him to gain a little bit of clarity, especially when it comes to his intuition and all the things that cannot be seen. But I'll leave that there. I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that is, however that is. And once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and thank you so much for watching. Love and healing from my part to you, and bye.